The most dangerous stories are rarely the ones that are true. They're the ones repeated so often that people stop asking whether they were ever true in the first place. Within a matter of days, thousands of headlines, social media posts, and online discussions had begun painting the same picture. Some claimed that Jamie Dornan's marriage was quietly falling apart. Others insisted that distance, demanding film schedules, and constant public attention had finally created cracks that could no longer be hidden. Every photograph was analyzed, every public appearance dissected, and every moment of silence transformed into supposed evidence of a relationship in crisis. Yet behind every dramatic headline existed another reality that cameras could never fully capture. The public often believes that fame provides unlimited access to someone's private life, but the truth is almost always far more complicated. The greatest battles rarely unfold beneath flashing cameras. They happen behind closed doors, inside ordinary homes where husbands and wives continue living real lives while strangers argue over fictional versions of them. The question was never whether rumors existed. Rumors have always followed successful people. The real question was why so many people desperately wanted those rumors to be true. For years, Jamie Dornan had occupied an unusual position in modern entertainment. He was recognized across the world, yet unlike many celebrities, he consistently avoided turning his private life into public spectacle. Interviews focused on work rather than family, red carpet appearances remained professional rather than theatrical, and social media never became a stage upon which every personal milestone demanded public approval. That decision earned admiration from many observers, yet it also created something else. Silence leaves empty spaces, and empty spaces are often filled with speculation. Whenever the public receives fewer details, imagination begins constructing its own narrative. Suddenly, every missed event becomes suspicious. Every solo appearance invites questions. Every ordinary moment is transformed into an extraordinary mystery by those determined to uncover secrets that may never have existed. In an industry driven by attention, privacy can become the greatest source of curiosity. Meanwhile, Amelia Warner continued living a life that stood in sharp contrast to the relentless noise surrounding celebrity culture. Rather than chasing headlines, she invested her energy in creativity, music, and raising their family away from unnecessary public attention. Those who only knew her through photographs or brief interviews often underestimated the quiet strength required to build a stable home, while the outside world constantly searched for signs of instability. Long before millions associated Jamie Dornan with global fame, there had been years filled with uncertainty, career setbacks, personal growth, and difficult decisions that never appeared on magazine covers. Relationships are not measured by perfect moments captured in photographs. They are tested during the countless ordinary days that nobody ever sees. As speculation intensified, another question slowly emerged beneath the surface. Why do audiences become so fascinated whenever a successful marriage appears vulnerable? Perhaps because public figures unintentionally become symbols. Some people project their own hopes onto celebrity couples, while others project disappointment, cynicism, or unresolved experiences. When rumors begin circulating, they often reveal as much about the audience as they do about the people involved. A single headline suggesting separation can spread across continents within hours, not because evidence exists, but because uncertainty generates attention. Attention creates engagement, engagement produces revenue, and suddenly truth becomes less valuable than possibility. The cycle repeats itself over and over again, leaving very little room for nuance or patience. Jamie understood that fame had always required compromise. Success opened extraordinary opportunities, yet it also invited strangers into conversations they had never been part of. Film premieres, international travel, and demanding production schedules created unavoidable periods of absence, but absence should never automatically be mistaken for emotional distance. Anyone balancing career ambitions with family responsibilities understands the invisible calculations taking place every single day. Which commitment comes first? Which opportunity should be accepted? Which sacrifice will matter years from now? These questions rarely receive simple answers, particularly when millions of people believe they already know the outcome before the story has even unfolded. Inside the family home, however, life followed a rhythm entirely disconnected from the internet. Mornings began with familiar routines rather than dramatic revelations. Conversations revolved around ordinary responsibilities instead of sensational headlines. Children's laughter echoed through rooms that online commentators would never enter, creating reminders that real families exist beyond public imagination. The contrast was striking. Outside, strangers debated the future of a marriage they had never witnessed. Inside, another day quietly unfolded with all the imperfections, responsibilities, and small moments that define genuine family life. Perhaps that was the greatest irony of all. While the world searched for dramatic collapse, everyday life continued almost entirely unnoticed. Yet beneath this apparent calm remained an unavoidable reality. Persistent rumors eventually reach the people they target. It becomes impossible to ignore endless speculation when friends begin asking careful questions. Colleagues mention articles they have read, or loved ones quietly wonder whether public pressure is becoming too much. Even the strongest relationships are not completely untouched by relentless outside noise. Confidence may remain intact, but exhaustion gradually replaces surprise. At some point, every public figure must decide whether silence still serves a purpose or whether speaking openly becomes necessary, not to satisfy public curiosity, but to protect those who never asked to become part of the story in the first place. Jamie had spent years believing that actions mattered more than statements. Consistency, loyalty, and presence spoke louder than carefully crafted interviews. But the modern media landscape rarely rewards quiet stability. Dramatic speculation spreads far faster than ordinary truth, and once a narrative begins gathering momentum, reversing it becomes increasingly difficult. The question was no longer whether rumors would continue. The question was whether remaining silent allowed those rumors to become accepted as reality. It was a decision carrying consequences far beyond reputation, because every inaccurate headline eventually reaches the people who matter most. And just when it seemed impossible for the pressure to intensify any further, an unexpected development behind the scenes would force Jamie to confront the one decision he had avoided for years. A decision that could permanently reshape how both the public and his own family viewed everything that followed. There comes a moment in every public figure's life when success quietly begins demanding a different kind of price. It is no longer measured by exhausting filming schedules, relentless travel, or the pressure to deliver another memorable performance. Instead, the cost becomes deeply personal. It appears in the quiet moments between interviews, during late evenings after work has finished, when the cameras have disappeared but the conversations refuse to end. For Jamie Dornan, that invisible burden had become impossible to ignore. It was never one article, one rumor, or one social media post that created the greatest challenge. It was the relentless accumulation of them all. Day after day, week after week, the same assumptions resurfaced in different forms, dressed beneath new headlines yet carrying the identical implication that something was quietly falling apart behind closed doors. The extraordinary thing about modern celebrity culture is not simply how quickly information travels, but how rapidly speculation becomes accepted as fact. One anonymous claim is repeated by another publication, then echoed across countless social media accounts until the original source becomes almost impossible to trace. By the time millions have shared the story, very few people stop to ask whether there was ever any evidence at all. From the outside, it might appear easy to dismiss such stories. Many people imagine celebrities simply laugh at gossip before returning to glamorous lifestyles untouched by public opinion. Reality is far less straightforward. Words possess remarkable weight, particularly when they are repeated often enough. Even if they fail to damage a marriage, they can certainly disturb the peace surrounding it. Imagine opening your phone after an ordinary breakfast only to discover complete strangers confidently discussing your personal life as though they had attended every family gathering, every private conversation, and every difficult decision. Imagine reading comments insisting that your relationship is finished while, at that very moment, you are planning school activities, organizing family dinners, or discussing weekend plans together. The contrast between reality and public perception becomes almost surreal. Eventually, the greatest frustration is not anger but disbelief. How could people who have never entered your home speak with such certainty about what happens inside it? Jamie had long accepted that acting demanded sacrifice. Every major project required weeks or months away from familiar surroundings. Film sets operated according to unforgiving schedules, often stretching from early mornings until long after sunset. Entire days disappeared beneath rehearsals, filming, interviews, and promotional obligations. Those realities had never been hidden from his family. They understood that his profession involved temporary absences, just as he understood that returning home meant becoming fully present rather than carrying the pressures of work through the front door. Success meant very little if it came at the expense of the people waiting for him at home. That philosophy had quietly guided countless decisions throughout his career. Although the public rarely noticed the opportunities declined, the invitations refused or the projects postponed because family came first. Such choices rarely generate headlines. Newspapers celebrate dramatic announcements far more enthusiastically than quiet acts of loyalty. Amelia understood this reality perhaps better than anyone else. Long before audiences recognized Jamie's face around the world, she had already witnessed the uncertainty accompanying an acting career. She knew that confidence and self-doubt often existed side by side, hidden beneath professional smiles. She understood that every successful role was accompanied by auditions that never resulted in work, opportunities that disappeared without explanation, and months during which nothing seemed guaranteed. Those experiences shape people in profound ways. They teach resilience, patience, and perspective. Fame may eventually arrive, but the lessons learned before success often determine how someone behaves afterwards. Amelia had seen every stage of that journey. She understood the person long before the public discovered the celebrity. Perhaps that explains why their relationship developed differently from the stories people attempted to create around it. Instead of chasing attention, they quietly built routines capable of surviving extraordinary circumstances. Their home was never intended to become an extension of the entertainment industry. It existed as its complete opposite. Away from flashing cameras and endless speculation, life regained its proper proportions. School runs remained more important than trending topics. Family meals mattered more than online debates. Children's laughter carried infinitely greater significance than anonymous opinions posted beneath sensational articles. That separati between public identity and private reality became one of the strongest foundations supporting their family life. Unfortunately, maintaining that separation grew increasingly difficult as public curiosity intensified. The entertainment industry has always possessed an unusual relationship with stability. Success stories frequently attract admiration, yet peaceful relationships often receive far less attention than dramatic breakdowns. Conflict generates clicks. Heartbreak fuels endless discussion. Reconciliation inspires headlines. Ordinary happiness, however genuine, struggles to compete against manufactured controversy. This imbalance encourages speculation whenever public figures choose privacy over publicity. Silence becomes suspicious. Distance becomes evidence. Routine professional commitments suddenly acquire emotional interpretations they were never intended to carry. Gradually, fiction begins competing with reality until many observers struggle to distinguish between the two. Jamie recognized this pattern unfolding around countless colleagues throughout his career. Actors, musicians, and public figures frequently discovered that the version of themselves circulating online bore little resemblance to the individuals they recognized in the mirror. It was a strange consequence of modern fame. Public image gradually developed its own independent existence, shaped by strangers who had never shared a conversation with the person they confidently analyzed. Some celebrities attempted to correct every misunderstanding. Others ignored everything completely. Neither approach guaranteed peace. Responding sometimes amplified controversy, while silence occasionally encouraged further speculation. There was no perfect solution because the conversation rarely belonged to the people at its center. Yet, despite everything unfolding online, something remarkable remained unchanged. Every evening eventually ended in the same place: home. The word itself carried extraordinary significance. Home represented normality, familiarity, and emotional safety within an industry constantly demanding movement. It was where professional success lost its